Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK rock and metal channel, and today we're going to be discussing the recent video that came out from the band Liliac. The song is called Breathe. It came out in September 2024. It's not off of a current album. I think it's going to be on a future one, I believe.
Yeah, I was looking into it. I was thinking, is it maybe a transition single between
They're writing a lot of new ones. So obviously we had the opportunity, or I had the opportunity to talk to Melody, and we were talking about the songs. So they're writing a lot of new material at the moment. They've got a new song that's very Nightwish-esque. So they're doing a lot more symphonic elements going forward, which is sounding really cool. So yeah, we've kind of broken down now. The way we've done this is all three of us have gone away. We've watched this video at least once, maybe more, depending on how many times we needed to. We've made our notes and our thoughts about it, and obviously we'll be throwing some of the clips up as we discuss it. But I think I should go last on this, because obviously I'm probably more of a Liliac fan.
And you interviewed Melody, didn't you? Last
yeah,
time?
and
so go and watch that on the channel. I've already watched that.
I think we were very respectful, as people have obviously said, but I'm intrigued from Andy's point of view. What was your thought around this song?
We've covered them on the channel. It's far removed from anything that I usually listen to, but I mean, I'm going to talk about perhaps more the video than the song, to be honest. I really like the location. That was visually very striking and unusual, sort of dead trees on the beach is how I've described
where they found that. It's not like they could drag those trees to the beach. They had to find that.
Really good spot for a music video. And I am actually going to talk about the song because I really like the sort of instrumentation of this one. They've got quite a few different sort of sound elements in this. I mean, there's flutes and violins that are working with the guitar, and that comes across really well. Overall, I think it was like not a standard song structure. I mean, I don't think this is typical of Liliac. You probably, it wasn't the usual verse, chorus.
Yeah.
Sort of format of the song, which makes it obviously more interesting and engaging for somebody who's not a fan or familiar with the band. And there was a great vocal stream at sort of the 2-minute mark.
There's really power at that.
Yeah, really good. But I mean, like a lot of the things we cover, it's hard for me to be quite as engaging and positive about things that I don't usually listen to. But as a video, it was really well shot, and it's great location, and it's I'm sure a very good Liliac song.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Andy. It surprised me. It wasn't an orthodox song structure. I did listen to it twice. The first thing, because it starts with a violin, I was just thinking, why bother putting that in? Second time, it's like, it's a precursor to the vocal lines. So I thought it was very clever. And it didn't prepare me at first, because just like, okay, you just want to demonstrate your virtuoso skills. Yeah, there's actually a post-chorus to this, where you have these really aggressive halftime drums at 57 seconds. And again, that took me by surprise, because you normally do that when the vocals change key for the chorus, and they do it after. And then I think what was really unusual is that they then use that as a transition to go back to the verse with a shredding like flute pattern. So again, they've taken me by surprise already in the first 1 minute now with what they're doing, because you do get a feel for this band normally after a minute. You know what the structure's going to be, and they're second guessing you all the time. There is one standout moment for me, Melody Christea, where she aligns the pitch of her voice with the flute, and that's just incredible, isn't it? There's nothing wrong with that level of virtuoso extravagance if you can play it, flaunt it, and she's a great job on that. There is one thing that does annoy me though, it's a bugbear of mine, that I think it's 2 minutes 24 where you have that like dance build up on the snare. It's like an electronic bounce roll. You hear it in trance music. I appreciate that they're putting different elements in just to keep you guessing, but no need to do that. I mean, to me, it doesn't spoil the song, but it's completely irrelevant. But the third rendition of the chorus is a reminder that there's actually guitars in the mix. I think because my attention was diverted to the flute and the violin and the rhythm section, I kind of forgot that the guitars were in there, and you start to beef up a bit, don't you, in the third section and some chords. So, wasn't surprised by Liliac. What about you? What are your thoughts?
So I really like this track. So for me, of all the ones we've done, the only other one we ever had where we were all really quite fans of the song was Carousel. We thought that was a good rock track. We've had songs like Rise Up and Madness that we weren't big fans of. For me, this one, I was like, what surprised me was on previous songs that we've done with them, we'd always heard the potential of the band, but we'd always felt that they were either lacking in a clear direction, or they hadn't found their voice, or they weren't really kind of going in. They were too close to their covers or something like that. So for me, when I listened to this, I was like, wow, they're actually doing something interesting here now. That's more than just doing a cover song or playing safe within the rock world. So the fact that I didn't know that they did violins and flute was great. So I loved that extra layer of instrumentation. I think Melody's voice was beautiful in this. She's almost got this breathy voice. Now, we've talked about it before about was her voice put on? Because we've heard it with the Dio covers. And I was like, oh, that sounds very close to Dio. Now, having spoken to her, I know that when she does the Dio, she actually tries to channel his voice. So she actually leans into that to make it sound more like, and she actually tries to put on a Dio-esque performance in her videos, but it's not what she tries to do in these other ones. But so I think
that sort of must be natural when you're doing a cover version. As a vocalist, it's almost unavoidable, isn't it?
Well, one thing I found really interesting was talking to them, and it does explain a couple of things that can sometimes be classed as a bugbear for us, but is they approach music in theatricality terms rather than songwriting. So everything they do is about theatricality. So they're not looking at doing one look and that's the band and then they just play a load of songs. Each song is taken in its own context with its own level of theatricality. So
like David Bowie.
Yeah.
Constantly changing your...
Which I thought was interesting. I liked you had this almost sultry tone around the sort of 30-second. The whole band kicks in. Like that. I liked how from the first verse going up to the chorus, every kind of few bars, the tempo doubles down again. So it goes from the standard, then it doubles up again, then it doubles up again. So you're constantly building. I thought that worked really, really well. Loved the setting. I think we all sort of looked at that setting. Great shapes, using drone cameras, stuff like that worked brilliantly. I love the fact there's a shot and they're doing it, and in the background you can see people like walking their dog on the beach in the background.
Oh, I didn't spot that.
Over the corner, you could just see people going for a wander. I'm like, so hang on, did they just turn up on this beach and just set up and go, fuck it, we're going to shoot a music video today? I thought that's brilliant.
Got no right to restrict the area.
No, exactly.
So let people visit and walk the dog.
But then Melody kicks in, obviously, at the sort of minute mark. She kicks in this flute, which kind of caught me off guard. And obviously with Samuel doing the violin part as well, that catches me off.
Is there a guitar solo in this? I haven't noted it
down
if there is. Okay.
I didn't make a note of it.
No.
The one thing I still, however, struggle to categorise them visually as a band, and I know having now done, because I did this reviewed this before I'd done the interview, which is why it was one of my questions to Melody. But it is very hard from a casual viewer. So if you've never seen Liliac and you don't know the history, and you watch one video and you see them all in black doing Dio-esque, and then you watch this, it's like chalk and cheese. It's two very different looking bands. And that can be a slight problem. I was watching their Heaven and Hell video cover of the Black Sabbath song, Heaven and Hell. And it's completely different to what they're doing in Breathe. They look completely different. They've got a different vibe. Now, them talking about how they do things theatricality-wise makes a lot of sense. They approach each song in its own context. If you look at when they did Seven Nation Armies with White Stripes, completely different look. When you look at what they did with Dream On,
they did Master of Puppets.
They did Master of Puppets. Each video looks completely separate.
Yeah.
So I think that's something from a casual listener point of view, to get an identity of a band is always a bit of you want to kind of lock in with that band. And if you were to look at all their video images next to each other, you're like, it's a little bit odd. And one of the things that came up, if you actually start typing in Liliac in Google, you know how it comes up with questions?
Yeah.
Suggested questions. The first question that comes up is Liliac a covers band?
Yeah.
And that's the first suggested comment.
And that's AI generated, isn't it?
Based on searching.
Yeah.
So that's one of the problems that they may have to overcome. Covers are great ways to get interest in the band, but it then does pigeonhole you as a covers band.
There's some good keyboard playing in this as well, isn't there, from what I remember? That holds it all together. And there's in that mid-layer, when it breaks down, it actually zooms in, doesn't it? And you see some nice flourishes there as well. I mean, they are standard 4-bar sequences, but it's good, isn't it? You know, it just doesn't zoom in.
Whereas a lot of times, where I guess with Justin on the keyboard parts, you've got to... A lot of the times you've got to try and find the space, because they're not a symphonic metal band. So he's effectively trying to cover the rhythm guitar parts and just fill out the sound on it. So he's never going to really be at the forefront. So you have to really go hunting for his parts. However, saying that, I was just making a note here. So, like the 1 minute 50 mark, Melody does that scream, which I thought she did phenomenal job on that one.
This is the flute alignment with the voice.
She just goes full on. And this is where it really takes her into the next realm of the Gothic symphonic. And this reminded me a little bit of Annette Olsen era Nightwish, like Dark Passion Play era. So we're not getting into the more recent sort of Flora era, but it did have that, because the Annette Olsen era of Nightwish was definitely more rock, but it still had the symphonic elements. And this is where I think they're definitely going in there. So I really liked it. It's definitely got some rewatch value. Having watched their recent Heaven and Hell one, which was just shot in a quarry. After a while, of about 2 minutes into that, I was kind of like going, okay, it's just the same angles, the same shots, drone cameras. They did a really good job. They're doing a performance, but I get a little bored of watching performance-only videos. But because of the settings on here, plus you've got them sitting for some reason doing a flute and a violin in the ocean at each other. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. This is a bit different. Exactly. I thought that was quite interesting and quite of a good breakdown. But really like the track. Looking forward to hearing some of the new stuff that they're working on at the moment. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Now, if you enjoyed the video today, please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.